Capricorn, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and this is your reading for the last part of February 2024. If you didn't get a chance to see my reading for the first part, it was quite lengthy, but it was a good one. I will link it at the end for you. So in this video, we're going to be looking at what I'm calling the Yellow Cardinal Cross. So in the number 1 position, I'm going to look at the issue that you're dealing with right now, whether it's a problem, it's a pattern for you that's showing up, it's a struggle. And then I'm going to clarify that number 2 with another card. And I want to see if there's a card that's going to sort of have an impact on what the issue is. It's going to clarify number 1 or obscure the issue a bit. Number 3 position is the conscious influence. And that means this is the influence that you're aware of that's affecting or influencing this issue. And then on the right is going to be the unconscious influence. And that's going to be what's coming up in your shadow. And it's not what you're aware of because we don't know what's in your shadow. 5 on the top is going to be the card that's going to tell you what is needed for resolution for this situation that you're in. Number 6 on the bottom is going to be the resolution. It's going to be the understanding. So I think what it is probably going to be is a bit of guidance from the tarot. And yeah, so I'm hoping this helps with you as we close off the last 2 weeks in February. So let's get started. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck for you. And I did some shuffling right before I came on. So I'm going to ask right now for one card for the issue that's coming up for you right now, Capricorn. Oh, nicely flipped up. You have the 4 of Wands in reverse. All right. Now, I want you to clarify a card for this 4 of Wands in reverse. One card, please, from the tarot. And that one flipped up. All right. We have the 9 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is a clarifier. Number 3, I want to know what the conscious influence is. What do you know about this? What are you aware of this issue? What are you aware of what conscious influence is on? I just need one card, please. Oh, I have 2 here, so I'm going to do this again. One card, please. The conscious influence. This card is not wanting to come out. Ooh, we got 2, but I don't want 2. I just want 1, and they came out nicely. Okay. I'm going to take this one right here. This looked like it wanted to come out. Now, this is the Knight of Swords in reverse for you as your conscious influence. Interesting card. The unconscious. What you're not aware of. What's coming up in your shadow. One card, please. And we have, oh, the Devil. Well, we're going to talk about the Devil. We're going to talk about the Devil. Now, what is needed for this for the resolution? Number 5. What's needed? One card, please. The Star card in reverse. And finally, number 6 is the Understanding. The Understanding. And you have 2 cards here that came out. So I'm going to just want one card, please. There we go. The King of Wands in reverse. Okay. Now, what I've done for you, Capricorn, is I've pulled the energy card from my yearly reading for you, which is, if you haven't had a chance to look at your yearly reading for 2024, it's in my description box below. And I pulled the February card out of that reading, and that is the 7 of Swords. And so that's your February energy. That was also in your first reading I did for you. The 7 of Swords talks about all those belief systems that we run away with that we kind of inherited from people around us. So they're all the belief systems that we have in our about us. And a lot of times they're the ones that are kind of nagging at us a lot of times. And, you know, the ones about our unworthiness or the ones Yeah, anything to do with who we think we are. These are swords, right? These are all our ideas, our mental thoughts, that we've inherited from other people. This is the Seven of Swords. And so let's look at the issue here at hand, first of all. So you have the Four of Wands in reverse. And for me, the Four of Wands is, if you look at the number 4, first of all, the number 4 is a like square, rigid, stable card. But the thing is, when that comes up with a wand is something that is a very creative energy, and it doesn't want to be held down. Like, it does not want to be stable and rigid, and it wants to be creative. So wands want to be thrown up in the air. Wands want to be free. And this card is interesting because it shows two individuals walking away from this walled city behind them. So they have walked away from something, and they're feeling a real freedom, right? They're feeling a real freedom from walking away. So there is a part of you that wants that situation, but there's a resistance to walking away and feeling that freedom for ourselves, and really celebrating that freedom. And this card is going to explain a bit why. It's the Nine of Swords here. So another sword card here, and this is what's, this is what's kind of clarifying this one, or and maybe obscuring this, because it looks like you've been through a battle here. You've really been through a battle, Capricorn, where, it sounds like you're trying to take your life in a new direction. Like, it sounds like you want to walk out of that walled city, and only you know, it's a general reading. So only you know what that walled city is for you. And so it sounds like you're trying, it's not like you're not trying. It sounds like you're trying to get that freedom to, be yourself, that freedom to take your life in a new direction. And you're really struggling here to do that. I see that at the last part of February. So that's the situation that you're sitting with. And it's very interesting here that you have a lot of this mental energy going on right here, these belief systems about yourself, and sometimes that can really get in the way of preventing us from going in that direction that we want to go in. So what are you consciously aware of? What do you know about this situation of this really wanting to take your life in a new direction and wanting to get some freedom to create a new project or do something for yourself, and putting ourselves first, really? Essentially, that's what it is. Well, it's no surprise that the Knight of Swords, you are very much aware that you want this freedom. You are very much aware that you want to be, the Knight of Swords is that teenage part of ourselves. It's the adolescent part of ourselves. If you think of an adolescent, they want nothing more than to be authentic, to be real, to be themselves, right? And they, look at this Knight. Look how much he wants to be free. Look how much he wants to take that sword and cut through all the bullshit that people have told him in this Knight of the Seven of Swords energy here. And so he wants to be free. And so this is really, and it came in reverse here. And so there's a real block, I'm going to say, to taking your life in a new direction, to find that authentic you, to find out who you really are, and do what you want to do. And there's a real block here. And when a Knight is blocked, when you block a teenage part of yourself, when you block a teenager, I was a teacher for 30 years and I taught teens all my life, they get angry, so maybe you're sitting in some anger here, some blocked anger, some of us could be sitting in a lot of hopelessness because you're sitting here not seeing a way out. And you know, this card looks like you may be sitting in quite a lot of hopelessness here, feeling like you've been beaten, you know, feeling like you can't do this, what you want to do. But what you don't see, what's coming up in your shadow, is the Devil card. I think you need, for me, I mean, the Devil card, a lot of people get scared of that, you know, and this is all about our attachments. This is all about our desires, kind of where these attachments that we really feel chained to. Really, really, I mean, around your neck, you just feel like they've got you. And a lot of times I look at these and I see they're, you know, these are our addictions. And when we're on this healing journey, I mean, we're all on the healing journey in life. Even though you don't want to admit it, everybody's on it. You know, we're all trying to find out who we really are. We're all trying to put ourselves first, trying to get on that path to find out who we are. But I'm seeing here that there's some, because I see you, you know, sitting in that state of hopelessness sometimes, I'm seeing here that this particular little wooden guy is getting in my way. I'm seeing that you have attachments that are getting in your way. And a lot of times we don't really want to face our addictions, and I think we know. Like, this card is upright. So to me, this tells me that, you know, there is an awareness on your part that, yeah, you have these certain addictions, and yeah, you probably should not do certain things as much. And, or maybe you're quite aware that, yeah, you have this addiction and you can't seem to fight it, right? And I mean, we all have it. I think the biggest addiction going nowadays is the phone. I know I struggle with the phone too, of getting on my phone, getting off my phone, stop scrolling. People are, you know, binge watchers, Netflix watchers. People are, you know, use alcohol, drugs, you know, there's all kinds out there. You know, you name it, you can have it. I mean, something like running, excessive exercise can be a drug. You know, we can pretty much turn any activity that we do into one of our addictions if we really want to. And it's not so much that we want to, it's just they really help us cover up some of this pain. And especially if you're sitting in a position where you're wanting this freedom and you're feeling so blocked, there's something that's blocking it. And I see you feeling this certain way to get out of that walled city. Well then, yeah, we start to numb our pain, because this gets to a point where we don't know what to do. We don't know how to get out of this. And so what I'm seeing here is what's needed for this resolution is the Star card. The Star cards come out in reverse here. And to me, there's a real resistance to this. And the Star card is a beautiful card. They have one foot. This person is become very vulnerable. And they've decided that they want to heal. They have one foot on their grounding on this earth and one foot in the water. You know, a lot of people think when we make that decision to heal what it is that, you know, what we're trying to block here and what we're trying to deal with in this situation, people are really scared to do that. People are really scared to get back into their bodies and start to feel and heal, because there is a resistance here to do that. And a lot of times it's because we fear what sort of emotions are going to come up with our healing, and we're petrified to feel emotions. But that's what's going to heal us. Dipping your toe, you know, just a little bit. This water right here represents our emotions. So just making that decision to dip your toe just a little bit. One little thing. You start so small when it comes to, you know, healing those emotions. Keeping a foot on the earth, you know, so we're grounded. We're learning how to ground our body. We're learning how to get back into our body. And it's a scary place to be, to get back into your body. We want to live in that head, right? The Seven of Swords, your energy. We want to get stuck in that head. And when we get stuck in our heads, this is where, you know, we can really try to numb some of those. We do it to numb what's in our head, those thoughts that we've been given. But it's time to heal. It's time to look at some of those belief systems. Some of those belief systems that you have about yourself that you're covering up with these addictions. It's time to look at it and start to heal bit little bit by bit. And the understanding here is the King of Wands in reverse. The King is the masculine part of us, our ego self. And we all have that masculine ego self, and that's the one that really drives all our behaviors. I mean, consciously. But there also is this other part of us, which is the feminine part, which is my queen in the deck. And she is that part who is very much into her body. She loves the body. She loves to feel. And so your ego self here is in reverse, and that tells me that you know, this particular king, who's the King of Wands, and the Wands is all about that creative energy, taking our life into the direction that we want to take it. It's all about following our intuition. And the ego self would definitely tell you that, you know, following your inner guidance, getting in touch with your inner guidance, getting in touch with your emotions, getting in touch with, you know, who you really are, our authenticity, and going in the direction we want to go in. This ego self would tell you that it's just a bunch of BS, you know, and all these swords that you're sitting with as your overriding energy that people have told you. Well, the ego self has a tendency to repeat. The ego self really sounds a lot like people we were raised by sometimes. We hear it like, oh, that's a stupid idea. You know, what do you want to do that for? That'll never bring any money. You know, especially when it comes to doing something you want to do and changing your life a little bit. There's always that. I know myself, I was raised by, you know, very negative parents, and I would be discouraged if I wanted to do anything new for myself. And so this is what I'm seeing is your ego self is kind of coming out and going, you know, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to take your life in a different direction? And so Capricorn, you know, your last reading, the reading I did for you in February ended with, I entitled it, You Are Epic and You Don't Know It. You know, there's a lot here that's bursting to come out. The freedom is there for you. You want to take your life in that new direction, but there's just a lot of mental energy going on, and, you know, maybe attached to some desires, addictions here, just to kind of calm that mental energy. But another way to calm all of this is when you actually start to feel these emotions that are wanting to come out, and which are causing a lot of this anxiety in you, actually. So good luck, Capricorn. I'll see you next month. Bye-bye.